Hi guys, welcome back. Understanding stage fright is super important. So what is stage fright and why is it normal? Well, stage fright is obviously when you get up on stage and you're not feeling very confident. In fact, sometimes you can just be absolutely terrified and not even get to the point where you're on the stage. This is absolutely fine, it's absolutely normal, especially if you don't have much performing experience. Some physical symptoms of stage fright could be like shortness of breath or your heart beating really fast or like your body going numb. I've experienced all of this myself, but I was able to get over it. So stick around to the end because we're going to talk about ways we can get through stage fright and build your confidence. An element of stage fright, there's obviously a psychological aspect of it because I think primarily it comes from a fear of what other people are going to think of you and other people are going to judge you. To help combat stage fright, you can use deep breaths and visualization of you actually playing the set list in front of people and just playing that over and over in your mind. It'll be like you've done it 100 times. And that is one massive key for getting over stage fright is just repetitions, getting over it, and keep pushing yourself in that scenario. So an open mic night is a super good place to do it because you can just get up, play one or two songs and then run away and hide. But it's really good for helping you adapt and learn to deal with that sort of pressure on getting up in front of people. After you've done about 50 to 100 open mic nights, if you do them regularly, you shouldn't feel any stage fright after that. Preparation is key. So if we're going to talk about combating stage fright and building confidence, you must know what you're doing ahead of time. As in, you must be practiced. You must know what you're going to do. You must know how to play the song that you're going to play. You must know how to sing it, how you're going to be standing when you're performing. Another thing to do during your preparation stage is selecting the right song for the potential audience. So if you're playing in a pub, maybe go to the open mic night without playing first, just to see what the audience is like. Then you can pick your song that will absolutely target that audience, so there'll be an even better response, so it's even less things to worry about for you. Know your equipment and the venue. If you're playing an open mic night, they'll probably provide a microphone and a PA system, so as far as you're concerned, you've just got to sing into the mic, so that covers that. But understand what good microphone technique is. You want to know that you don't want to be way too far away from the microphone because nobody will hear what you're saying. You want to be, a good distance away, maybe a fist away from the microphone, maybe a little bit closer, just to make sure it's picking up everything you're saying. And speak with good diction as well. You want to have your mouth nice and wide open as you're singing or as you're talking. Feel free to do dress rehearsals in your bedroom. There's no shame in doing in fact, it's recommended that you do full dress rehearsals in your bedroom just so that you can get used to playing. And like we were talking about earlier with the visualization, this is you actually doing it and just pretending your bedroom wall is an audience. Building a support system. You want to surround yourself with people who are going to be supportive of you. Quite often, this is family and friends. Family and friends are really good also for getting feedback and constructive criticism and doing it in a way that's not going to hurt your feelings. Understand when we're talking about building confidence, we're coming from a position of vulnerability to accept that we need help with building confidence and that we're actually feeling quite vulnerable when we're up on stage. So having a supportive family network or friendship network is super important just to give you that boost of confidence that you might need to push you over the edge and actually start performing. Just before we go any further, down below in the description, I think there's also a little tag here. If you're interested in knowing how to build a set list for a gig, there's a free set list template/checklist that will teach you everything you need to know about how to structure a set list for a live performance. It's something that I wish I had had when I was first starting out. The next level up from family and friends is other musicians. If you hang out at open mic nights for a few weeks in a row, you'll start to recognise a lot of people and you'll be able to start talking to them and you'll start to build up a musician to musician relationship and you'll be able to support each other. Be open, be vulnerable, express how you're feeling nervous and why you're nervous. Maybe try and find out if they've done anything to help them get over the nerves. Other musicians are going to be a great influence, especially when you're starting out, to help you build your confidence up. Getting your head around any negative comments ahead of time is also going to help build your confidence. By this, I mean, if you can think of all the worst case scenarios of if you go up on stage and people boo you off stage, people throw tomatoes at you, you get pints thrown at you, you get insults about your worst insecurities. If you can say all of this stuff to yourself in the mirror before you go and accept it and deal with it and say, right, yeah, but in 3 generations we're all going to be dead and nobody's going to care anyway. That's sort of what I say to myself. And approach it as a joke. So everything that anyone says, just smile it off. If it's positive, smile it off. If it's negative, smile it off. It doesn't matter. Just be really nice, be friendly, and I'm sure none of that worst case scenario will ever happen, but if it does, it's good to prepare yourself ahead of time. When you're playing up on stage, try and connect with the audience. I know this video is about building confidence, however, if you can connect with the audience ahead of actually being on stage, then it'll feel a lot more homely and there won't be as much pressure on you when you get up on stage. It's a bit like if you play in front of your family just in the lounge, it's nowhere near as scary as if you go and play in front of strangers. Well, if you can become friends with everyone that you're going to play in front of before you play in front of them, that massively helps you get over the nerves. Be authentic to yourself as well when you're on stage. There's no point in trying to pretend to be something you're not. Just be yourself, and if you're nervous, just say, oh, I'm really nervous, I haven't played much, I hope you're kind to me. And quite often everyone will be really supportive, maybe give you a clap and give you the confidence you need to get through the performance. If you're stressing the night before a performance and you're not sleeping, that is actually going to negatively affect your performance. So trying to get a good night's sleep, eating healthily, just doing deep breathing exercises, mindfulness, practicing all of these things is actually super important and is very easy to go under the radar and not noticed. But these are super important steps to make sure you're in the best state of mind to actually start performing. If I don't have a good night's sleep, I know I can't put my best into a performance. Exercise is another really good thing. I've recently in the last sort of 6 months taken up jogging, and this has really helped clear my mind, and actually I've been a lot calmer when I'm getting up on stage and performing. I think the jogging is a causal reason for that. Develop a positive mindset around actually performing. You want to set yourself little goals that you can achieve. So say goal number 1 would be just going to the open mic night and not performing. Then maybe week 2, you go to the open mic night and you talk to the person running it and sort of find out a bit about how you'd get involved, how you start playing. Also socialising with the other musicians and talking to them, finding out about their insecurities and how they got over the building confidence stage. Then maybe week 3, the next goal is actually to get up on stage and just say hi to everyone. You might not even have to perform. If you just say that you're extremely nervous, you might not even have to perform. And then week 4, get up there, just play one song, just get it done, accept the fact that it's going to be awful your first time. It might not be, but accept the fact that worst case scenario, it's going to be awful, and so what? Everyone started somewhere. Ed Sheeran's first performance was rubbish. My first performance was rubbish. Justin Bieber's first performance was rubbish. Everyone is rubbish when they first start. It's fine, everyone knows it. But what makes the difference between somebody who's destined for failure and destined for greatness is if you can stick with it and do 100 gigs, you'll become amazing. A great saying, I think it's by Chris Williamson, is faking bravery when you're not feeling brave is bravery, which is exactly applies to performing and going up on stage and building confidence, because if you pretend you're confident, which I found was really helpful when I was first starting, you actually find that you are confident, and then eventually it will just become your persona. After you built an initial level of confidence and you're playing in sort of the same pubs, try and push yourself out of your comfort zone and go to different venues. Playing in front of different audiences, different size audiences, and in different venues and in different towns and cities. This is going to push you and your body out of your comfort zone more and more often, and eventually you'll just be able to say, yeah, I can perform anywhere. For me, this took about 80 to 100 open mic nights, and then I got there and now I can play anywhere without any nerves. Also, practice looking back and seeing where you've come from. For example, if you'd never played an open mic night at the beginning of this year, and you're now at the end of the year and you look back and you're doing sort of 1 or 2 open mic nights a week, that's a great achievement. You're now regularly getting up in front of people, which you never would have been able to imagine yourself doing at the start of the year. It's important to look back and give yourself a pat on the back for these achievements because they are not to be overlooked. And my final tip for sort of long-term success with building confidence is find a mentor, somebody that's going to be able to guide you through performing in front of different people and giving you any advice. Maybe they're talking from their own personal experience, or maybe they've managed somebody else or helped somebody else build confidence. Locally, this could actually be the people who run the open mic nights. They're constantly up in front of people and are very confident. So talk to them, see if they've got any advice for you. And with that being said, guys, if you found value in today's video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!